So tonight, we're going to begin a segment examining fake news stories that have been pushed by the mainstream media since Donald Trump's election. Everyone's familiar with the fake news story about the MLK bus being removed from the Oval Office and the phony intelligence report about Trump and Russia. But the Federalist, Daniel Payne, put together a fantastic rundown of some of the other fake news stories that you may not have heard about. Here's some big ones. After Trump's victory on November 8th, rumors spread online that transgender teens were killing themselves in response. A Guardian writer tweeted out this unsubstantiated rumor, and then the lie spread. Multiple other outlets picked it up, and at the end of the month, the story had been shared nearly 100,000 times just on Facebook alone. The original tweet was deleted, but there was no factual basis for it. Nevertheless, it was whipped up an incredible amount of anti-Trump hysteria, completely irresponsible. Number 2. On November 22nd, New York Magazine writer Gabriel Sherman dropped a bombshell, asserting prominent computer scientists and election lawyers were demanding a recount in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania because there was evidence of hacking or manipulation. The story went viral on Politico, Reuters, and the New York Times, and even MSNBC. But the very next day, it turned out it was demographics, not hacking, which explained the inconsistencies that Sherman was pushing as evidence. The damage had already been done, and fake news like this significantly contributed to the perception among many Americans that Trump's election was illegitimate. Politico's Lorraine Wohlert published a report in early December claiming that Trump's Treasury pick, Steve Mnuchin, had overseen a company that, quote, foreclosed on a 90-year-old woman after a 27-cent payment error. The story was shared by the New York Times, NBC News, and the Associated Press. But guess what? Almost everything in the article was false. The 90-year-old woman was never foreclosed on. She never lost her home, and it wasn't even Mnuchin's bank that brought the suit. Eventually, the story was corrected, but as is true with many of these stories, people absorb the fake news, but never the correction. On January 26th, the Washington Post's Josh Rogin dropped this bombshell, that there was a mass exodus at the State Department in protest of Donald Trump, writing that, quote, the State Department's entire management team just resigned unexpectedly. The story was shared tens of thousands of times on social media, reposted by the Washington Post, Bloomberg, and ABC News. But the truth is, this is standing operating procedure. Mark Toner, State Department spokesman, clarified, quote, as is standard with every transition, the outgoing administration, in coordination with the incoming one, requested all political appointed officers submit letters of resignation. The bottom line, Democrat appointees leave when Republican presidents come in, and Republican appointees leave when Democrat presidents take office. The entire presumption of the article was false. Now, it's no wonder the majority of Americans don't trust the media.
Give me a break. This whole thing is the biggest fairy tale I've ever seen.